this is John Kovich of Cuba Fishing Outfitters and Flywater Travel. This short video is to help you determine the best fishing destination for you in Cuba. One thing to think about is that Cuba is quite a large island. If you compare it to Belize, for example, which is 180 miles in length from north to south, Cuba is nearly 800 miles in its length, so it's a very large island. It also has 6 distinctly different fishing destinations. You can see those on this map. These are different in, of course, the species that are offered, the best times of year to fish them, their cost, of course, the accommodations that are offered, and how long it takes to get to them. I think there are about 5 or 6 things that you should ask yourself in order to really narrow down the best destination for you in Cuba. The first thing to ask yourself is what species of fish are most important to you. Some people love bone fishing. Most of us do. Others are crazy about permit. They want to fish for permit every day, all day long. You know people like that. Others love tarpon, as I do, because they grow big, are super strong, and are very acrobatic. While others are very happy catching periphery species, such as snapper and jacks. Most of us, of course, just want to catch as many fish as we can, and all of them make us happy. The next thing to ask yourself is how you want to catch them. Bone fishing is a great example. Some destinations around the world are perfect for wade fishing. Other places, the bottom is soft, or simply it's better to fish out of the skiff because of visibility and the spookiness of fish. But it's important for you to ask yourself whether one of those is something you have to do all the time, or whether or not you can share doing that throughout the day, sometime in the boat and sometime wading. For tarpon anglers, you should ask yourself if you have to sight fish all of the time. Or can you do some blind casting into channels or bays? Some of those situations with blind casting will mean bigger tarpon. Can you do that? Is that okay for you? The next question I would ask yourself is when in the year is best for you to travel. Most of us have occupations and families, and so we have narrow windows of travel. We understand that. There are a few people that we talk to who say, oh, anytime is great for me. For you people, we're pretty jealous. Most of us, of course, we have a narrow time of year that is where our opportunity lies. Think about when that is. Next is to really be honest with yourself about what level of comfort you need. Sometimes we're a little flippant with that and we kind of shrug it off and say, oh, I'm good. I'm good with anything. And then you get there and you're actually not. So think about what makes you happy and what makes you comfortable so that you can communicate with us. We can recommend the best places for you, and when you get there, there won't be any surprises. So for example, accommodations in Cuba vary pretty significantly. There are 3 kind of levels of accommodation. The first is what I would call quite fancy resorts that are all-inclusive. These are land-based resorts, and they're very nice. At the same level as some of the liveaboard boats, which are, again, exceptionally comfortable and luxurious. One level down from that are, again, a few land-based places where the level of accommodation, of course, the level of comfort is not quite as high, and some of the boats, which are a little bit smaller and maybe not as luxurious as well. And lastly, are land-based operations, which are usually what are called casa particulares, which are Cuban rentals, Cuban guest homes. Actually, they're very comfortable, they're very simple, and that's important for you to understand. Next is to think about whether or not you have to stay on land or if you're comfortable staying on a liveaboard boat. Some customers tell us flat out, no way, I can't stay on a boat for a week. I'll feel trapped, and I'll really feel trapped being around a group of people for that length of time. We get that, and we'll be able to recommend places where you can stay on land and have great fishing and great accommodations. But we'll also explain to you in length and detail about the boats. There are many different, some are more spacious than others, and we'll kind of talk to you about how much time you really are with a group and how much time you're not. Lastly, we all need to think about our budgets, and fishing is no different. So think closely about what your budget is. Not surprisingly, the prices in Cuba vary greatly depending upon the destination and the level of comfort. That's like anything else in life. But what may be surprising to you is that time of year determines price greatly as well. So you'll need to know that. So in conclusion, as I said, there's about 5 or 6 things that you really need to think about. Think about which fish you love fishing for and how you want to fish for them. Think about the time of year that is best for you. Be honest with yourself about what makes you comfortable, and think about what your budget is. With those things in mind, we can help you determine the best place in Cuba for you to fish. Remember that nothing makes us happier than to hear from you directly, so please email us or call us on the phone, and we can talk to you honestly and with great expertise about Cuba, and we'll be very happy to do so.